Your first impression of Kerala?
First impression is that I have come to my home. That is my first impression. Basically, I am from Goa, and there is no difference in Goa and Kerala's atmosphere, the sea, the sand, the people, and the culture too, food habits. And I feel I am at home. So this is a homely state for me.
Do you think the state is over-politicized?
I am yet to understand the politics of state. Certainly I can say after some weeks, about after a month or so. But people have been talking about the affairs of the state, and many a time they feel that it is over-politicized. But I am yet to make my opinion over this.
First hand.
Yeah.
The question comes up every time because any development project, any dream project, any new proposal, any proposal to even improve the syllabus of the technical university is stalled by either the trade unions or the teachers unions or pure politics, which is why I wanted to ask you this question again.
Yes, it is. There is too much of unionism here. That is what I feel. And unionism, to a certain extent, it helps to sort out your problems. But what I believe in is all the problems can be sorted out by sitting across the table and discussing all the problems. So that has to be the procedure towards looking the problems and getting them solved. Always it is not necessary to have a confrontation, or somebody should say Jindabad and somebody should say Murdabad. That is what unionism, what I am talking of. It is not necessary every time. So we can sit across, discuss. You and myself may be having different opinions, but that doesn't mean that we cannot sit together. So that sitting together is very much necessary, and I believe in it.
Your address to the State Assembly the first time was politically very correct. You went by whatever your government, as you rightly said, gave you, wherein you emphasized the point that yes, the state needs more share of the GST and the center share, etc., etc. At the same time, I'm not trying to cook up or stir up a controversy, but we are also facing a situation where this same government, which laments about lack of financial support, is splurging. It's spending money. It's wasting money on unnecessary publicity gimmicks, which is why this question comes up again.
See, this whatever I have said in the assembly, that was the policy of the government.
Right.
And government of the state was not much criticizing the moves and the steps of the central government. What they were trying to tell us, tell the people is, we need more money for our developmental projects. And if we are not getting, then we will have to ask for that. So that is what exactly the government wants to, through that address, tells the central government. I believe in it, as I said. If you need something from the central government, let the central government officials and the state government officials sit together. If we require certain more money for a particular project or for a particular scheme or for particular aid, then you discuss with them, and then I think things can be sorted out. That is exactly what I wanted to. If the central government has not given you some money, you ask for that money. So I was in my address, I was just pressing the need for more money. Right. That's all.
And when the time comes, when it is pointed out that the state should show prudence, be judicial in spending also this money.
Of course, it is expected. I ask for money from you, and I may spend it the way I want, that cannot be expected. It has to be, that prudence has to be shown by me also. So that mutual understanding has to be there.
Right. One major point of contention or dissent between your predecessor, Honorable Arif Muhammad Khan ji, and the state government has been the appointment of vice chancellors, whose prerogative it is. The UGC has made it very clear, but still, even after that, the state government and the chief minister seems not to buy it. Your take on universities? This is beyond politics. I think if the constitution or our lawmakers had felt that there should be a political appointment, they would have left it to the state government like any other boards or public sector undertakings. Now, this is the academics. These are the universities wherein the governor, which is beyond the state government, is given the final authority to choose the vice chancellors. Your opinion, your take?
It's very clear. If when you say that a governor has been given the final authority by the constitution makers of our country, where does the question comes? Many a times, even UGC has clarified this. Many a times. I have been chancellor in 2 states, Himachal Pradesh and then Bihar, which has got vast educational institutions, higher education, as well as universities, other institutions. And I have been tackling all such problems. And all these problems where we have sorted all such problems with their government also. And everybody agrees that it is the power of the governor who is the chancellor. Who is the chancellor? So, the chancellor has the power to nominate, appoint, so not nominate, appoint the vice chancellor. This is not only UGC has been saying, n numbers of verdicts of high courts and the Supreme Courts have been saying same thing. I have gone through it. I have just checked where are they. They have said it is the supreme authority of the governor or the chancellor to appoint a vice chancellor. So where does the confrontation and the question comes? It is not very, it is very clear. So we must understand why our constitution makers have kept this particular power in the hands of the governor. Why he has been made the chancellor. We must understand this. If that understanding is there, I say that there should not be any ambiguity, should not be any other thought.
Have you also noticed that the state is obsessed with passing resolutions in the assembly, unanimous resolutions? Probably the only time the ruling front and the opposition UDF comes together is to pass a resolution against bills and amendments proposed by the union government. The latest being the Waqf Amendment Bill, unanimous resolution against it. Earlier there was the UCC proposal, unanimous resolution against it. So where does it fit in? The union government comes up and through proper channel comes up with a law, and you sit here and, it has been ridiculed often, the attempt of the assembly to pass a resolution against the bill.
See, all the legislators in the assembly are learned people. They know what they are doing. And I hope they will be doing better every time, because that is the reason why they have been elected. Now, if Government of India, that is at the center, they think that particular legislation is needed, they may go for it. Now, particular which you are referring is the Waqf bill. That has not been passed so far.
No.
They have introduced it.
Yes.
It has been sent to the JPC.
Right.
JPC's report, I think, must be
approved
either
it.
today or tomorrow. The cabinet may be getting it, and then they will be placing it in front of the house. After passing after the Rashtrapati's consent to it, then it will be passed, made as an act. Now, if the state government has to say something, or the legislators of a particular state has to say something over this, let them say no. What is wrong in it? We are a democracy. If my view is different from others, I will have to say it, and you are allowed to say it. So, it is for the legislators to say that, okay, we are not agreeing with you. That's all. For me, it means only this much.
Your very interesting observation during your Republic Day address, Simhavalokana, to the people of Kerala. Look back and look forward.
That is needed in everybody's life, in a person's life, in an organization's life, in a government's life, in a community's life, and in a nation's life. It is needed everywhere. If we do not know how far we have come and where we want to go, how much we want to go, then it will be just, what should I say, nothing, chaos it will be. I have energy to do something, but I do not have any direction to do. So, Simhavalokan is very much necessary in private life as well as in public life, in community life, in nation's life. That is what I have been insisting. This is for the people of our Kerala and people of our nation. They have to think over this. Where are we today and where we want to go after a few years.
I don't know how many people know that your debut, your entry into the Goa State Cabinet was as Minister for Environment and Forests. And now the most important news is about the wild elephants coming into human territory, tigers coming and killing people, leopards coming in. So the man-animal conflict, as the experts call it. So have men encroached into forest land, or are the wild animals coming into the state? You would have a very clear view on how we should tackle this issue.
Incidentally, just yesterday, I was talking to PCCF of our state. I had called him and I was talking to him about the very same issue. We were discussing many other issues, but this issue was also focused. I wanted to know from the PCCF what our views and what we are doing, that is as a state, regarding wildlife and human conflict. What are we doing? Because I have been witnessing, I have been reading about this, that many incidents have been happening. Unfortunately, the PCCF had no vision for this but he had to, I told him there are certain things to be done. What he says, he was satisfied with whatever has been done. I said that is not enough, whatever has been done. Why we must understand why the wildlife, wild animals are coming out of their inhabitation. Why they are coming to the human people? Because we have encroached there. And that is the main reason. Whether we can stop that encroachment, somehow there was some lack of vision in this. I told the PCCF, you have to work hard over this. You have to look at this in a different way and see that human life is not lost. It is true that we have to protect the wildlife, but at the same time, human life is also more important. So, but reason has to be found out. And I think the department, that is Forest Department and the PCCF and his machinery will look into it and they do something over this.
So what we see normally is knee-jerk reactions, shoot, fire, kill.
Some little bit more seriousness is needed over this issue. That is what I felt. As I told you just yesterday, I was talking to the PCCF. I think there is some more seriousness is needed.
Does it got anything to do with environment protection too?
It is two inspirations, two things were inspiring me. One is automatically the environment, protection of environment, preserving the trees, our environment, and another is adopting the new technology. That has to be done. And by adopting new technology, digitization and all those, we always save to some extent the environment itself. I'll tell you one thing, when I did the paperless efforts, there was opposition within my department itself, my people in the assembly. The other subordinate people, they said, sir, this cannot happen, there are some this and that. Many things were there. This because there are some obstructions, how we will go ahead, there will be. So I said, we will try to find out some solution. If it is not happening, let us give it up, but let us try for this. And at the end, we found that we could do it. And there was a very small session of about 12 days, 12 days session. And you know the number of assembly members in Goa, it is just 40. Here we have 140. So, and I was in where it was 240. So, here, so for just 40 members and a session of 12 days, we could save at the end of the session 1,298 trees from cutting.
Okay.
That itself was so much motivating for me. I said, this is a win-win situation for me. So, adopting technology and saving the environment, saving the trees. That was basic instinct that which I wanted to do. That was the reason why I did this.
Now, one of the first things that you did after coming to Kerala and taking over as the governor was to visit Sri Srivas Ajanand, former Chief Minister of Kerala. Politically, I mean, you cannot be more apart. Ideologically, both of you cannot be more apart. So, what was your inspiration? What was your interest? What took you to VS?
My ideology is this. I am not in politics now. I was a member of a political party. I was a functionary. I was doing work for that party. Now I am no more member of any political party. I don't have any political affiliation. But my ideology is this, that all people matters. All people have their views, and all those views are to be honored. And all have contributed towards the development of our society. And that was the reason, since my college days, I used to hear the name of Achyutanand ji. And such dedicated persons, for his ideology, he worked here. He dedicated his life, I should say. So, such dedication, such a powerful effort for his own views or ideals is very much needed in today's society. I thought the person who has given so lot for this state, I should go and meet him, pay my tributes to him, pay my respects to him. And that was the reason, nothing more than that.
Could you recognize you? How was the communication? Because we understand that he is bedridden.
No, there was no much communication. He is bedridden, and but I could just see and just namaste. That's all. Yeah, his son was there. His wife was there. We could talk with them, but they told me when they had mentioned just yesterday, the earlier day, that I am coming. He was very happy. He was smiling. Yes, that's all.
Have you heard of one new concept that has picked up energy sometime back in Kerala and certain areas of South called cutting South, where people would like to term South Indian, North Indian, East Indian, West Indian. Has it come to your notice? Campaigns, seminars, discussions?
I have never seen this anywhere. That this person is a North Indian, he is an eastern part of our country, this is a southern, and this nobody. I do not know from where such ideas come to our mind. We have been looking at people as one nation, one people, one society, one kutumba, one parivar. So, and from where these fascinating ideas come to people, I don't understand. Why should we go into it? Even if there are some smallest idea of this, we should be able to curb that and not promote that. That is what we are. That is our whole culture is. I just don't understand this.
Left parties have constantly made one call, abolish the post of governorship. We do not need governors in a federal system. Center and state is enough. Now you're working with one of the last remaining left governments in Kerala, or in the country. So how would you tackle this contradiction?
See, many people feel that there should not be the institution of governor. Should not be. I do not know from where they get this idea, but governors are very much needed to just look over. When I came to this place, I said, I have not come here to guide you, to govern you people. I have just come here to assist you in your efforts of governing, of doing some developmental works. If governor is just like a person as a head of the family in our parivar, in our kutumba, in family, that is what our constitution makers have thought. I have been going into debates over this particular issue also. None of them said, no, there should not be any governorship in a state. All of them insisted. They said, no, governor has to be there because he is a fatherly figure. And there we just even if he is very old, we go to our father, head of the family, discuss with him. Many a times we may not like his views also. Right. But that doesn't mean his position is of no use. It has to be abolished. This thinking will certainly help to grow a good relationship between the governor and the government. This thought has to be in the both ways. It is not a one-way traffic. It has to be in the both, governor as well as the government. So government should feel, see why there is confrontation, because there is lack of understanding between both the parties, then the confrontation comes. We must try to understand the other person. Why he is doing, yes, if he is doing that, I will go to him and sit with him, discuss with him. Sitting across the table has been gradually diminishing. If that is done, the government will feel, yes, governor is helping us. And if that is done, the governor will also feel, yes, they are listening to me. So that type of confidence within the both parties has to be built up.
Some light on your early life, your student days, your entry into Sangh as a student, your entry into politics, and what inspired you?
What? See, there are many avenues from where we get inspiration. It is not in a particular way. I was very young, small child, and my father was Sangha, RSS, Nagar Karyava there. So Sangha was in our family, in our house itself. Many people used to come to our houses, to our see. Even so, I am so much grateful. I felt emotional when I say that Ranga Hariji came to my house in Goa when I was small, young person there that time. And he came, he stayed one night with us. Our house was not a big house, it was a small hut it was. But still he stayed. Then many other such things. So I do not know since when I started going to Sangha Shakha. But since then, my thinking, my all thought process started beginning towards the nation. And gradually it grew up. Then I was RSS Karyakarta. Then someday some people told me, so it is necessary you go to politics. And which is the nearest party to RSS was the BJP. So automatically myself and today's Central Minister Sripad Naik, and then there is one more who had been our ex-CM Lakshmikant Parsekar. So three of us, we went together to BJP. In one day, we started working there. We were never knew, we were no, at least I was not knowing that I would contest election someday. But after some time I was told to contest the election. I contested, I got elected, I became the MLA, I became minister, I became speaker, and all that gradually it grows up. That is a part of whole life. But inspiration was always that we must do something selflessly towards my society and my country. And that inspiration was given to me like people, as I said, like Ranga Hariji here, then other full-time pracharaks of Sangha, then they become Mukundrao Panchikar, then Vasantrao Kelkar, many, Lakshman Rao Inamdar, those many people, I just can't. So that was the inspiration. These are the people whom we must look at and work for this country. That's how gradually there are.
Goa and BJP was unthinkable at one time. Like they said, BJP or Sangh will never rule Bharat. But it has been an inspiring story wherein it was being bonded between Congress and some regional parties and some leaders. Now BJP is in power, consistently in power. How was that transition, and what was the role? Also, how would you recall Manohar Parrikar ji?
All of us, we worked together. The names which I told you, 3 of us, and later on Manohar Parrikar joined. And that time, one election was held, and the BJP that time, and prior to that, my father was a Janasangha Karyakarta also. So all this, they were just contesting for the sake of contests, election. They knew they will not get more than 200 votes in the assembly elections. They knew this, but still they contested. And they were trying to tell the people there is a party called Janasangha. Then it became BJP. And they started. My father was also BJP's president in Goa later on. Then, and afterwards when we entered the politics, BJP, we never thought at that time that BJP will come to power. I remember one incident, Eduardo Falero, who later was the Minister of External Affairs, MOS probably, he got elected as an MP from Goa. And in that election, that was parliamentary election, when BJP got more than 50,000 votes, he was the only leader who could visualize that something is going to happen regarding BJP. He made a public statement. He said, I have won and our party has won and everything is okay. I am very much happy. But one concern is that I am giving, it is a concern for all of us that BJP could garner 50,000 votes if something is going to happen in near future. That is what he alerted all his karyakartas, all his workers, party workers, and it was in a public statement. So that's why all these people were worried. But in spite of that and everything, we worked together, and it was a coordinated efforts by all of us, be it Manohar Parrikar, myself. We all were Sangha Karyakarta in the beginning, and then we later became BJP's Karyakarta, and people rewarded our efforts and our thoughts.
Our minister from Kerala, George Kurenji, after being made, there was very dramatic scenes when he was summoned to the PM's office. Nobody, not even journalists from Kerala, realized that he is walking in, because he was in nobody's list, nobody's wish list. So after swearing in, he said, that's the difference between other parties in BJP and the Sangh. Anyone who works will be rewarded anytime. You made a similar statement, I think, after becoming governor of Bihar. So what makes it different from the other political parties, the BJP?
No, that is where what I have witnessed in BJP, I am not a member of party, but still I felt that they have always recognized. See, after these elections, for some period I was just working. I lost my elections in Goa for assembly elections, and then I was working for the party, irrespective of that. That was not my concern at all, whether we win or lose. But still we were working, and suddenly I get a call from Prime Minister. He himself called me, and he told me, Rajanji, we have decided that you should be governor in such a state. I was so much astonished. How this happens? I never knew this, and I never thought of that I will be a governor sometimes, and will be leading one state and another state and everything. But that happened because the people there, those who are sitting and thinking of the party at large and the organization, they feel that all the efforts of certain person are to be recognized, are to be considered. And they said, if he is there today, it happens to anybody in politics. Anybody can lose, anybody can win. But whatever he has contributed, he needs to be giving contribution even further. So he has to be given certain position. They feel it, they felt it, they gave it. I do not know what qualities I had, but that was them to think. So they felt. They sent me to Himachal Pradesh, then they sent me to Bihar, very big, large state. Now it is a completely different state here, Kerala. This, what I consider this, it is a learning process for me. I am not here to guide somebody. I am not here to say this is to be done, this is not have come to order somebody. I have come here to understand. I have come here to see what is to be done for the state. And if I can be of any help, but that is God's blessing.
There have been claims, counter claims about who took Bharat to the growth of development, etc. But I remember a time when we had the most important news was India, that is Bharat, pledging its reserve gold to run its day-to-day affairs. Now we are talking about, how many trillion economy, world's number 1, number 2, number 3. So this was unbelievable at one point in time. What made the difference? We are not talking about claims. We are not talking about pamphlets. We are not talking about PR. We are showing tangible numbers. 1, highway. 2, airports. 3, ships. 3, defense. 4, economy. 5, the foreign investment in India. 6, manufacturing. 7, the number of iPhones being exported from India. So what has brought about this change? Unbelievable.
That is the mentality, thinking of the persons who are sitting there top in Delhi, their thinking, their processing and their working. So that has brought the change. There is, see, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has been telling us that we have to be by 2047 Vikasit Bharat. What is that Vikasit Bharat? For me, Vikasit Bharat is not only an economic concept. It is all-round development of the society, all-round vikas of the society. In every field we have to be Vikasit. Not only economic, we can become $1 trillion become economy, and that is not only Vikasit Bharat. Vikasit Bharat is how we think, how we behave with each other, how our society has developed, how society has come, how our education has come up, how our industry has come up. And all this, how our facilities, infrastructure has come up. Flyovers, roads, trains, aeroplanes, aerodromes. All this, how we have developed everything. So this, and Modi ji has been thinking of a country not in that only one matter. He has been thinking of everything. I'll just end up with one thing. See how one developmental work affects the other thing. I was just going through some data, And when I found that how many crores of toilets have been built here, and particularly in rural areas in this country, there may be crores of toilets have been built up for last about 5-10 years. What is the impact of that? Impact of that is there has been reduction of crime against women to the tune of 22%. Vikasit Bharat is here. Crime against my sister, how can I tolerate? Because we have built crores of toilets, crime in the rural sector has been reduced by 22%. So we can give her safety. That is my Vikasit Bharat. That is the concept.
Beyond financial and business powers, Modi ji as Gujarat Chief Minister was denied visa. Now Russia and Ukraine in one voice says yes, Bharat has to intervene, Modi ji has to come in between. Trump says yes. So from being an also-ran to a position of leadership and respect beyond financial powers.
Absolutely. Modi ji never said, I am the leader of the world. He never said. He worked and he proved that Modi ji did not want, even today, he did not want that he should be the leader. What he wants, that Bharat should be the leader. India should be the leader. And that is how he has been working. I have seen him very closely. When I was a pracharak of Sangha, and we used to meet very often. He used to come from Gujarat and I was in Mumbai. I was posted in Mumbai. That time we used to meet. And what he can do, what transformation he does. And even now when I meet him again, when I went to meet, when I took charge as a Kerala governor, I went to meet him just to say a courtesy, hello, hi, something, namaskar. Then he was asking me, how is Kerala, this and everything he was saying. How cordial relations are to be maintained. So that particular leadership is being watched by the world leaders. And how that is the reason why people outside our country, the heads of other countries, they just bow down before him. That is the leadership. But instead of this, he says, idam na mama. This is nothing for me, this is for Bharatmata. That is how the leadership is built. Yesterday there is one poem, stanza in English poetry, those who came to scoff remain to praise. So they were just scoffing at Modi ji, they praised today him all over the world. That is what is happening.
So thank you so much for spending so much time with us amongst your busy schedule. Namaskaram, Nani from the part of the Janam TV viewers from Team Janam.
Nani to all our Kerala's brothers and sisters. Thank you.